Will we be seeing more of Nathan's son this season?
I certainly hope so. I certainly hope so. I like that relationship a lot. It's fun to write. And you know, one of the great joys of the show is to work with amazing, talented set of actors, a lot of them New York based. So we're hoping to bring back a number of different recurring roles.
Can you tell us how you're able to get Ramin to come in and do the music? So there's so many elements of your show that I love, and the music is just another great part of it. How were you able to get him on board?
We met with some fantastic composers. We got very lucky. Ramin had worked a little bit on the Batman Begins score. Okay. And I called my brother and I said, if I gotta hire a composer for the show, who should I look at? He said, top of the list, first name out, Ramin Djawadi. So we sat down, and before I sat down with him, I obviously knew his work from Batman Begins. Looked into his other work and realized that he was the genius who come up with the theme for the theme and the score for Game of Thrones, which to me is the most memorable TV theme. Well, I would say the second most memorable score in TV in the last couple of years, next to ours, which he composed. We were extremely lucky to get him to work on the show. He's an unbelievably talented composer and elevates everything we do.
How different is it for you when you are working in a film project or in a TV project? How differently you plan?
Very different. In TV, people have to listen to me. In film, it's purely optional. No, it's TV is naturally. I think these things are all logical. Film is a director's medium. And I think writers who fail to understand that do so at their peril. And I have the best situation in town. I work with my brother. I'm about 40 pounds heavier than he is, so he pays more attention to me than most directors would. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you're in a box with a really big screen. It's kind of about the picture as much as it is about the story. And so Chris also writes, which means that that he can sort of carry the scripts into production with him. In TV, you got to come up with 23 hours, network television, 23 hours a year of story. And so naturally, and at any given point in New York, we have 3 directors working simultaneously. So we have an extremely talented producing director in New York, Richard Lewis, but the writers kind of sort of naturally sort of drive the best of the TV. And so that's for me, it's been an opportunity to do a whole bunch of stuff that Chris doesn't need me to do. I always love being on set, and this is a chance to be on set. Although we shoot in New York, so less time. A lot of time in post, in the cut, and casting and all those sorts of things. So it's been really, really cool. I mean, the best thing in Hollywood for writers to be able to do both. So I'm having a great year that way.
And from a writing perspective, you've attracted so many great actors. You have Mr. Margolis, you have Anne Parise, you have Turco.
I think we consistently have the best cast on TV. With our 4 regulars who are amazing, and our guest cast. It's just and a lot of New York-based actors who you don't necessarily often get a chance to work with.
Absolutely.
Sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's okay. I love the look of the show, especially when you see it through the various cameras. How did you come up with that concept that there was going to be a machine that would spit out numbers, and then the look of each scene being so different with the numbers at the top and looking down at the street scene? How did you come up with that concept?
I grew up in England until I was about 11 years old. I lived in London. My mom still lives there. And in the 80s, cameras went up everywhere. It was a response to the Troubles and IRA attacks around England in 1980. So they just put cameras, CCTV everywhere. And as a kid, you figured out pretty quickly no one's actually watching those cameras because you had to have a human operator. Someone had to put up 1,000 cameras. You only hired 2 people to watch it. They're not watching. So my friends and my mates and I figured out pretty quickly that you kind of get away with whatever you wanted. Then I moved to the States and there weren't any cameras. I moved to Chicago in '87. There weren't any cameras anywhere. You had private security cameras for convenience stores. Otherwise, you didn't see it. And in the aftermath of September 11th, our show's not really about September 11th at all. It's about what happened and what changed in American culture after that. Cameras went up, and I just got fascinated with the question of, well, who's watching? Who's watching?
Right.
And there will come a point at which someone is watching all those cameras, but it won't be a human being.
It's a fascinating subject, and it's a great show.
Thank you so much.
Great job. Thank you.
Bye, guys.